Hey guys, so here's the second part of the 2.7 day 2 notes. This is where you're going to actually try it on your own. So you will notice that you'll have actually 4 graphs, but we'll kind of go 2 at a time here. You will have to do 4 things for each graph. The first thing is you're going to find the vertex. Then you're going to find the a value. Given those 2 things, then you're going to use it to write the equation of the function, and then lastly determine the domain and range. So what I would like you to go ahead and do is pause this video and try example A and example B by doing these 4 things. Go ahead and pause the video. Okay, let's see for what you got if it checks out what I have as well. Okay, so let's look at A. So our vertex is at 1, 0, as we can see. And then our a value is 1, because all we do is go up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. And notice we do open up, so we do have a positive a value. Then our equation is y equals absolute value of x minus 1. Do not forget you do the opposite of what you see of h. Now notice for k, I didn't really put anything there. If you put like plus 0, minus 0, that is okay. But if you don't put anything there at all, we can assume that that is going to be a 0, okay? Then domain, we should all get that correct. It should be negative infinity to positive infinity. And then our range is from 0 to infinity, because we go from 0, our lowest y value, and then since we're opening up, we go to positive infinity. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to the next example. Here's the answers here. Our vertex is going to be at 3, 0, so that's our lonely point. Our a value is negative because we do open down. And notice we go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, so that just simplifies to negative 1. So to write this, I have y equals negative. Now, because I have an a value of 1, just like the other, I did not put the 1 in front of the absolute value signs. It is okay if you want to, but if you don't, we can assume that it is 1. But I do have to make sure I put the negative sign in front to represent, hey, we have a negative a value. Then I have the absolute value of x minus 3. Remember, we do the opposite of what we see on the h. And this time, once again, k is a 0, so I don't really put anything over on the other side. It is okay if you want to do plus 0 or minus 0. It's really up to you. Once again, domain should be exactly the same, negative infinity to positive infinity. And in this case, we go from negative infinity to 0. So 0 is our highest value. And since we're opening down, we go to negative infinity. Do not forget to write your range from smallest to largest. Negative infinity is smaller, 0 is going to be the largest. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try the next 2 examples. Okay, for C and D, you're going to do exactly the same thing. There's going to be 4 things you need to find. The vertex, the a value, write the equation of the function, and then determine domain and range. Go ahead, pause the video, do those 4 things for both examples C and for D. Okay, let's see what you got here as well. Let's look at example C. So for example C, I get 0, negative 2 as my vertex. Okay, now we kind of switched here. We're moving on the k value. My a value is 1. It's positive because I open up. And notice that I just go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, which just simplifies to 1. Now in this case, once again, since I have 1 as my a, I don't really have to put it in front of the absolute value sign, okay? Now, since h is 0, I don't actually have to put that in the absolute value. If you did absolute value of x minus 0 or plus 0, that is okay as well, but you can always simplify it to just absolute value of x. And then k is exactly as I see it, so that needs to be a minus 2. I think we should understand domain by now. Range, so we go from negative 2 to infinity. Remember, negative 2 is going to be our lowest y value, and because this is opening up, we go on forever in the positive direction on the y-axis, okay? Okay, let's look at the answers for our last example. Okay, so our vertex here is 2, 2, so we're changing it up. There we go. Our A value is once again 1, so since we open up, we got a positive A, and it just seems like we go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, so it simplifies to 1. So our equation should be y equals, and then in the absolute value of x minus 2, remember I do the opposite of what I see for h, and then k is going to be exactly as I see it, so since I see a positive 2, I have plus 2. Domain should be always the same, negative infinity to positive infinity, and then we go from 2 to infinity. So notice that 2 is our lowest y value, and then because our graph is opening up, we go to positive infinity, okay? So we have 2, infinity, and don't forget, use brackets on those numbers. Okay, so make sure if you have any questions, you definitely contact me, so that can be either through email or Google Meet. Make sure you work on the homework so you definitely understand this information. See you guys later.